Hello everybody, welcome to the 1000 GM channel. I am Jonathan Machtik with 1000 GM. I'm here with Grandmaster VAR AKOBIAN, looking at round 3 of the St. Louis GM Norm event. Let's get into it.
Hello everyone, let's take a look at this game. This is an exciting game between FM GAURI and Grandmaster Akshat Chandra. So this was played of course in the GM section, and FM GAURI played really strong this game and he actually had some advantage. So let's take a look. The game ended in a draw eventually, but it was definitely not boring. So knight bd2, interesting approach by FM GAURI because he's trying to play the e4. He's trying to get the control of the centers. So of course Grandmaster Chandra could have played the move d5 in this position if he really wanted it, but he didn't play that. He decided to go bishop g7, allow the e4. So we get this position, bishop c4 check. Interesting. Normally, I don't recommend this check unless the black pawn is on c5, but I guess he really wanted to force the move c6 and then park the bishop here. So what this move does is it takes away the knight c6 option from black. It's very hard to tell if it's good or not, but it's certainly playable. So castle, now c5. So black says, you know what? I don't want the pawn on c6. I want to go c5 and put my knight on c6. So he goes c3, takes, and e5 now, fighting for the center. d5, closing the center. Now white is enjoying the nice space advantage. Now Grandmaster FM GAURI transposes the knight back to c3, where he thinks it belongs better. Knight c5, bishop e3, position is roughly equal. Both players have their trumps. The knight on c5 is well placed, putting pressure on e4. And if you ever capture, b takes c5 will be played. But there are also some weaknesses on the light squares in this position for black. Rook e1, knight e5. So, you know, here I would seriously consider taking the bishop, because even though it looks like the knight is strong, but the bishop is a bishop, Jonathan. We know the value of the bishop is a little bit more than a knight. And I think in this position, I would have taken this. Queen taken this. Bishop a6, hitting the queen. Queen has to go back somewhere. I don't know, let's say here. And then we go, boom, Jonathan. b5, threatening to play b4. And it feels like, at least, that white is taking over black is taking over some of the initiative, okay? And with two bishops, you have really nice ideas here. So I really like this setup here. And I think it was very important for Grandmaster Chandra to take this bishop. In fact, Grandmaster Chandra is my student from St. Louis University, so I work with him regularly. So I will discuss this with him shortly when I see him, that, you know, maybe perhaps he should have taken this. And, you know, at least he could have also do this. So if not even b5, you have another additional idea in this position. Like you can even reroute a knight, and you bring the second knight on c5. But you do have the pair of the bishops, okay? So this is very important. A bishop here and bishop here. So if opponent gives you bishop, consider to take it. So I don't like this knight h5 so much, and of course,
so Peshke is a Peshke.
Kept the bishop.
Peshke is a Peshke, and bishop's a bishop.
Absolutely, pawn is a pawn, bishop is a bishop. Remember that. So now bishop d7, and now look at this. White is better because of the bishop. Now the knight is coming to c4. And I don't know if I like this maneuvering so much. Bishop b5, look at that. You don't eliminate me, I'm going to eliminate your strong bishop. That's what white is exactly doing. And now we're going to see the light square weaknesses. Look at the light squares now. And I don't know if this was necessary. I think, you know, probably like rook c1, preparing some b3, knight c4 would have been fine too here. f3. Yeah, now position is about equal. F5, b3, knight f4, getting, it's a neat tactic, trying to get rid of the queens. Knight c5. Yeah, the reason you couldn't take it because, you know, if you take my knight, I will take your queen.
Yeah.
So, and if you move the queen somewhere, then knight e6 is too strong. So now we get to this endgame, where, you know, black should be okay here. So yeah, this was a little bit surprising, allowing the move rook f7. When I was watching the game, I was you know, thinking maybe, you know, like even king g8 could be played, for example, just to protect everything. and then try to prepare some counterplay here via a4 or c4. But I don't want to allow the rook on f7. So I was just a little bit surprised that he did allow this, because why allow the rook on 7? So now attacking this, time pressure probably, and looks like white is doing really well here, but still some drawing chances. Yeah, I don't know about this. I think just taking the pawn is important. So it's important to get the pawn to make sure the material balance is there, you know. But he played here, now knight h3. And it's important to play this to control the f4 square. And suddenly white is doing very well here. King f1, rook a7, c4. Now 2 pawns up for white. Now just a4 would have been fine. Knight g5. Actually, FIDE Master Gauri is winning this game, and he just made inaccuracy right here. So here, the only problem in this position is the king. So what you got to do in this position is bring your king away. So if it takes, you simply play king to f2, and then eventually the knight will come here, and then rook c7 check and c5. It's just going to lead to a mate. So this is completely winning here for white. So instead, he played 96, keeping the king in the corner, but this is still a draw. But instead of just repeating, all he has to do in this position, just play the move king h1. Okay? This h4 pawn is not that important because you play king, let's say king g1, king f1. There are no more checks. And now rook c7 is coming, and c5. So there are really no more checks in this position. And knight only 6 is too strong. Yes, you can try to play this move, but just push. King e2, attack the bishop. Rook c7. Can you even just continue pushing c4? Okay, can play king f3, for example. I mean, this pawns are not going anywhere. This pawns are not, and the c pawn is just going to
too slow. Way too slow.
Yeah, they're way too slow. Rook c8, and just winning. Yeah, so misjudged. FM Gauri just simply misjudged the position. Again, players probably didn't have that much time, and that's why he decided to play it safe. He was afraid to lose the H pawn and maybe potentially losing the game. So he thought, at least I'll make a draw here. So very, very interesting game with a lot of back and forth. And the main lesson we learned, Jonathan, when we have an opportunity, what do we do in the opening? What opportunity we had here?
I like taking bishops because they're really good with my knights.
Absolutely. Take the bishops, guys. When you have an opportunity, take the bishops. Remember that. Okay? You know, usually when you take a bishop, good things going to happen. Yeah. Hope you guys enjoyed this game. And that completes the round number 3 of the GM section. So we'll be back with more videos for you from the IM section shortly. Thank you.
Thanks, everybody.